Hello, Easy Rider here. Well, today we're going to take off the front tire of my 2017 BMW RNINET Scrambler. Stay with me. Well, there it is, my front tire. It's the original tire that came on this, the Metzler Carew 3. It's got 12,500 or so miles on it. It's ready to go. Pretty much shot. I'm going to put on a Shinko E705 as a replacement. I have one of those on the back and I really like it. I'm a real Shinko fanboy. Anyway, let's get started. First thing we need to do is talk about the tools you're going to need. Being a BMW, nothing's easy. Everything's a pain in the ass, so let's go over what you're going to need. First thing you're going to need is a 22 millimeter Allen socket. Good luck finding one of these. I went to O'Reilly's Auto Parts, I went to Napa, I went to Harbor Freight, no such luck. Had to get it on Amazon. I'll try to leave a link underneath there. This was just under $9 on Amazon. I talked to a tool person, a tool company near us, and they wanted $75 for this. And I'm like, yeah, is it made out of gold? No? Okay, I don't want it. Anyway. Need that. You're also going to need a 12 millimeter Allen socket. 12 millimeter. Of course, I didn't have one that big, so I went to Harbor Freight and bought a whole set. It was around $10. And then you're going to need a set of Torx sockets. Now, you want to get all sockets because you're going to have to use your torque wrench eventually, and you're not going to be able to do that with Allen keys. Another thing you might want is a Sharpie. Sharpie I use on the, put it on the rotor to make little arrows. See the little arrow? That way they know which way the wheel goes. There's also an arrow down there. But it's just a good habit to get into. Of course I got to hold this camera, so I'll just go step by step through everything as we get going. Another thing you're going to want is a jack. That's a cheap-ass motorcycle jack I have because we're going to have to jack up the front wheel, obviously. A couple other things you're going to need are... doesn't hurt, a Haynes manual and the owner's manual. The owner's manual gives you enough info to do it, but I noticed that the Haynes gives you a little bit more info, help you out a little bit. And then obviously you're going to need torque wrenches and handles and stuff like that, but those are the oddball things. Anyway, let's get started. Alright, step one, we're going to remove the speed sensor screw. It's a T30. It's a puppy right there, speed sensor. Another thing I do is I write down in my book the size of it, so that way, you know, when I have to do it again, I don't have to start from scratch trying to figure out what kind of screw it is. So we're going to remove the speed sensor, and we'll get back to you right after that. That was easy enough. The speed sensor is now loose. You also take it out of this little clip right here. Another thing to do is snap a picture before you do anything, because you know, a couple days from now when you come back to put it all back together again, you go brain dead and you can't remember what was what and how it looks, but that should be simple enough. Next we're going to remove the calipers. They're held down by two T50 bolts right here. Before you ever start messing with the front brakes, what you want to do is put a tennis ball inside your brake, and I used rubber bands to hold it all together. You do not want to actuate that brake when you got them brake calipers off. That's a big no-no. So we're going to remove the brake caliper, and then we're going to use some bungee cords, and we're going to hang the brake calipers up. You do not want to hang them from those hoses, or you'll ruin it. So anyway, I'm going to do the left side, then the right side, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, there we go. I've got the both brake calipers off, and I got them bungeed to my crash bars. Basic idea is you just don't want it to hang all that weight on the hoses. Another thing that Haynes tells you to do is tape your rim so you don't scratch it, but you know, if you just wiggle it a little bit and take your time, it ain't going to hit the rim. So there's some if you want to do a little bit of safety there. Alright, next step in a second here. Okay, now we're going to remove this screw right there. They call it a screw. It's a 12 millimeter Allen, so we're going to remove that. Okay, that bolt is gone. Next we're going to loosen up the clamping bolts right here. These are T40s. We're going to do that on both sides. Then we'll put the bike up on the lift. Again, I like to do all the heavy torquing and stuff when the bike is down. That way it doesn't fall off the jack. And don't ask me how I know that. And there we go. Got the tire off. There's the axle. Make sure you pull the spacer off. Clean it all up, and we gotta put it back together. We're gonna put Moly lube on this axle and on the bearings too. Oh, there we go. It's up on the stand. So that's how you take the tire off. And put it back on, just go backwards. Alright, hope this helps. Any questions, give me a ask below. That'll help. Anyway, Easy Rider out.